Have you ever been told that you need to plan everything in life? That success comes only from strategy, step by step goals, and cause and effect thinking. I believed that too until recently. I'm an analytical engineering trained mind, but one of the biggest opportunities in my academic life, a PhD program, didn't come from strategy, it came from chance. And today I want to share that story with you. At the time, I was working as a teaching assistant in my university after 6 years in the United States. One of my professors offered me a PhD position, and I really enjoyed the environment. Work was going really great, and on paper, everything looked perfect. If I were to start the PhD in that university, it would have counted for my 5-year governmental bond, which I had to fulfill at the time. It also had a good salary. I could stay in the same country without having to study abroad and adjust my lifestyle again. In my position, this would have been perfect. But something didn't sit right with me inside. I couldn't explain it, I just felt it, that something was not right with this decision. Although everybody was saying, oh, that's great, you're going to combine your work and study, you're going to fulfill your scholarship and so on. So one day I casually asked my colleague about PhD programs, and because I wasn't familiar with Europe, I just asked what he thought about European PhDs. He mentioned that, oh, you can consider PhD programs in Northern Europe because in Northern Europe universities, PhDs are treated like jobs, not just studies. That sounded interesting. And I knew for sure at the time that I didn't want to go back to my student lifestyle, which I have before during my master's. And I knew that I wanted to also be okay on the salary level as well as doing an actually good PhD project. So that sounded interesting. So the same evening, I opened a laptop and I Googled PhD programs in Denmark. And after scrolling through the page, maybe third or fourth link came up and it said 11 PhD scholarships in Denmark Technical University. When I checked, there were 11 and one of them was actually exactly suitable to my topic. I worked on this field that's called microfluidics during my master's. That project was very similar to the field that I was interested in. And maybe in an hour in total, I wrote my research statement, filled out the application, and quickly sent it in. No big strategy, no long preparation. I just followed this impulse that I had that day. And here's where it gets interesting. Out of those 11 posted PhD scholarships, actually the one that I applied turned out to be in the UK, not in Denmark. It was just advertised in Denmark Technical University due to collaboration they had. Within a month, after a couple interviews, I was notified that I got in, so I got the offer. Interestingly, right during that time, I was also offered a PhD program in the local university. If it came a bit earlier, perhaps I would have already accepted the offer and would have decided to stay. But because the second opportunity came out so fast and it was right before the time I had to make a decision, I thought this was the opportunity that I needed. On top of that, the timing was perfect. The location was perfect. It was an English-speaking country. The university was really good in the world ranking list. And the program also matched my field, and I was very surprised that even the funding was even better than I thought. When I got accepted, the PhD was funded by one of the most prestigious scholarships, the Marie Curie Actions Scholarship, which at the time of application and at the time of the process, I didn't even know about the scholarship. I found out only after I got into the university, and it turned out to be in one of the top universities in the world, with even as a bonus with the great scholarship. So it was better than I expected, and there's no way I could have planned for it, that everything would fall into one place like a puzzle. Everything what I wanted actually did happen, even without me making any particular effort, without me searching for it, without me looking for funding or talking to professors or doing any effort on my part. This experience and all the other little things in my life would always happen, but I never paid attention to them. I just thought, oh, maybe I got lucky in some places. Maybe it was my hard work or previous achievements that I had. But recently, this year, I really started thinking and analyzing. And after talking to many people, to reading their books, many authors actually share this idea that planning and hard work matter, but to a certain extent. Sometimes chance does the heavy lifting. You must have these kind of opportunities in your life that came out without even you making any effort towards them. Opportunities often arrive when we're clear about what we want. But sometimes they even exceed our expectations. And how can you plan that? There is no way you can plan that. For the PG case, I only had two intentions, as I said. I wanted a good salary without compromising my lifestyle after my master's degree, so I wouldn't live like a struggling student again. The second, I wanted to do a meaningful PhD. Both of them were fulfilled. And on top of that, other aspects which I didn't even think of also fell into one place. So the point is, don't underestimate the power of chance. Sometimes we plan, outline everything, and I used to get very frustrated if the things didn't follow my plans that I meticulously made in my mind or on paper. Actually, we cannot control everything in life. And a lot of times, the biggest things, they happen by chance, whether it's in your academic, your corporate life, or your private life. In all aspects, things happen by themselves. Life itself has game-like qualities overall, where you have to be in certain state of mind, you have to follow certain strategies. When we call it a chance, it's actually something that's predetermined, and there's no way we can control that and manage and micromanage. Therefore, do what is important for you. When we say everything is up to chance, doesn't mean we don't do anything. Our goal is to follow the impulse. For sure, you will have impulse, and you just have to take a step. You have to do some physical tasks or physical activity or intellectual activity to actually follow that impulse. Whenever you have impulse, which we do not know where it comes from, it just comes to us. Our job is to follow those impulses and not to worry. You heard a lot about many things happening by chance. Video would go viral and the person would be saying, I just put up something and it went viral, or somebody offered me a job without any kind of planning. It was by coincidence. I met someone who turned out to be my partner later on. There are millions of examples of things happening by chance, and there's no way, no meaning of trying have to control all of those. Your goal is to follow the impulse, do what you're feeling like doing. If you're clear in your head, if you're feeling well, yourself, happy in your soul, those impulses, those thoughts would be coming to you by themselves, and your job is to follow them, as I said. Has chance ever changed the direction of your life? Drop your story below. I hope that you understand that not everything is up to us. Just be kind to yourself, be less judgmental of yourself, because sometimes we are ourselves' biggest critics. Thanks for watching. I will see you in my next video.